So with the launch of Act 3 of Heresy, we got quite a lot of stuff to play around with. Some of them are quite exciting too. In this video, I'll cover some new secrets that have appeared in-game, what has changed in the activities, Barrow-Dyad, last 2 exotic catalysts, and more. So before we start, let's discuss some news about Rite of the Nine. If you have not heard yet, Bungie's releasing this free event, which is basically like a dungeon Pantheon style gauntlet, similar to how Pantheon was if you remember. It is going to focus on 3 dungeons, those being Prophecy, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghost of the Deep. They'll have refreshed loot pools and new difficulty modes. The only sad thing about all this is that Bungie has confirmed to release it on May 6th instead of the launch of this new act, so I guess we'll have to wait a bit on that. Now let's get to Act 3 stuff. So first of all, we got a new cutscene where we confront Ziva, who now has real beef with us and wants to do a 1v1 with swords. Jokes aside, the cutscene looked really nice and looked like a great start for the Act 3 story. So the first thing you'll notice obviously is the continuation of the seasonal story quest, which has 5 steps for this week. Once you started, we can see that there is a new, well, technically old strike that just got released. I've never played the original, so I have no clue about the changes in it. Once you arrive at the Shaping Slab, you get a new exotic quest for Barrow-Dyad Catalyst 2. Which tells you to complete this strike, but you should definitely make sure that you have completed the first step of the seasonal quest so that you can get 2 birds with 1 stone by completing it. Another thing is, you should also equip Barrow-Dyad for the remainder of the strike, because at the end of it you will get the last intrinsic upgrade for it. This will only work if you have Dyadic Perfection quest completed, aka if you have the Shaping Slab upgrades unlocked. I believe you unlocked them at max level of the vendor, which I do not have. If you actually want to get 6 more birds with that same stone, I have included all of the locations of the last Osseous fragments at the end of the video, so that you can do everything in one run. So make sure you get a couple of friends who will not speedrun through the strike and actually get them, so that you do not need to come back to this and try to figure out which fragment you got already and which one you didn't. Also, if we think about the Grandmaster version of the strike, I think this is going to be one of the easier ones. I did, however, pay close attention to one of the rooms and I saw this one. But I mean, come on, you can always play Arc Titan, put down a barricade and nuke them with Lemon Arc, am I right? Anyway, in my opinion, the strike revived the grand scheme of things a little bit in the Grandmaster strikes. At least now we have a new actual strike to play. So that's exciting. Apart from that, the strike does look incredible, especially the part before the last boss, but maybe that's just because I've never done it. After completing the first 2 steps of the seasonal story, we get 6 mini quests from the Shaping Slab. It appears as a quest step saying that you only need to do 4 of them, but if you're chasing that sweet title like I am, you might want to complete all of them, since it's a required triumph for the seal. The quests are pretty self-explanatory and pretty easy to do, a little bit of unnecessary, but you know, that's alright. Some of them require you to defeat Taken with a sword or a glaive, others tell you to do Court of Blades, while another tells you to defeat Hive in the Nether. I did complete them pretty fast, maybe after like 1 or 2 runs in the Nether. Do bear in mind that a couple of them require you to be on Path of Ambition, while another 1 or 2 require to be Path of Resolve. It will show up on the quests, so you'll definitely know, but I just wanted to mention it to get that out of the way. Now talking about the Nether, we actually got a new area called Hole Breach, which I believe is random. I did manage to get it on my first run of the Nether. There's not much to talk about it except that it's new and exciting to have. One more thing about it is that now we can finally get the last 4 secret worms for the triumphs, 2 for Path of Ambition and 2 for Path of Resolve. I've included the locations of those worms at the end of the video too. Also, have in mind that to get 1 for all Barrow-Dyad Catalyst, you will definitely need to collect tithing worms on the Ambition path, so do not forget that. I'm not yet maximum level at the Shaping Slab as I mentioned, so I cannot tell you what you need to do afterwards, but all I know is that you will definitely need all tithing worms and all these new Taken Osseous fragments to get it. Now the most important part is that when getting those worms, make sure you do it with a buddy of yours or just someone that you can trust in general. Because you can be on, let's say, Path of Ambition, get its respective worms, then have your buddy stay in the instance of the Nether while you switch to, in this case, Path of Resolve and join back to get the other 2 worms. So you do not need to have the headache of trying to get this area again to find them. Now this last part about the updated Nether is a little confusing. I've not personally done this yet, but as far as I know, to get the target lock catalyst for Barrow-Dyad, you need to do 3 things to get 3 coalescence of the knife to be able to open the door in the Hull Breach area of the Nether. I'm not yet sure where exactly the room is in this area, but it definitely looks the same as in the previous acts where we come up to this kind of a hive console and it opens a portal, spawns 2 chests inside from which you get the quest for this catalyst. Now to get these coalescence of the knife items, as I mentioned, you need to do 3 things inside the Nether. I believe one comes from one of the 6 quests that I mentioned. I'm not exactly too sure which one, but I do remember getting it. The second one you get from defeating a Cabal enemy, which spawns in the Hull Breach area. To find it, you need to look for Toland and then follow it until it spawns the mentioned Cabal. You defeat him and that lets you open a door below it. Now the third one I believe can be found somewhere in the Founts area of the Nether, but for now I did not manage to figure out where and how to find it. If I do figure out, I will pin it to the comment section on this video. If you know where to find it or how to open a certain door in the Founts area, please comment down below so that we can share it with everyone watching. Last thing about the Nether is that we got some cool new encounters, so I had fun in those, maybe you will too. For some reason I believe it's my favorite seasonal activity so far. Let me know if you think the same. Apart from that, Court of Blades also got an update with new encounters and new bosses, so that's also exciting. All in all, thank you for watching. I hope you liked this short new video format. Well, I mean, it's new for me. And as promised, I will now show you the locations of worms and fragments that I mentioned before that are needed for the Triumphs and Barrow-Dyad exotic catalyst. I'll see you next time.
Guardian down.
Oh, I do see why she likes you. Wrath has something of mine. I can taste it from here. Sword edges and